I got out of a relationship recently, which is fun. I got to take inventory. People say that you learn things when you become single, and all I learned is that I'm not as attractive as I thought I was. Yeah, because like relationships, it's just a non-stop ego boost, you know? You're just pumping each other up. Like my girlfriend said that I was the manliest guy that she'd ever been with. I haven't gotten to the punchline. Go fuck yourself. She said I was the manliest guy she's ever been with. I know that's not true, you know? Like I could sleep with a lesbian, I'm taking home a bronze medal tops. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's, whenever you get a breakup, people want to know, you know, why you broke up. And that's a fair question. And with this breakup, it was difficult, you know, because we really cared about each other, and she's a wonderful person. But, you know, at the end of the day, just, you know, didn't see eye to eye. Which is my way of saying that she was 3 inches taller than me. Yeah. Rule of thumb, you shouldn't date someone who can dunk on you as a man. People judge you when you're in a relationship like that, you know, because we'd be out in public, you know, she looks like an NBA power forward. I look like a RuPaul power bottom. Was not bad. There was good moments, you know, I shouldn't diss all of it. Like, I got to be the little spoon for the first time in my life. Yeah. I haven't slept that well since the womb. Less secondhand wine this time around, but still good. It's always a slow one. You're like, oh, his mom drank. I tried to be the big spoon, I really did. I know, because I'm the man, I thought I could do it. I just looked like the back, like Yoda on the back of Luke Skywalker. It's weird, because before that I dated a girl who was 4'9", and people always thought it was really funny to tell me that that's the legal height for a midget. Yeah, joke's on you, average for 7th grade. But I leave that ambiguous, you know. Is he a pedophile? Has it been a while? I think it would. My girlfriend was religious, which can complicate things if you're not, like myself. I remember at one point she sat me down and she's like, look man, I just want you to know that in this relationship, for me, God's always going to come first. I was like, oh. I was like, if this is like all my other relationships, neither of you are going to be coming at all. She was conservative too. I'm liberal. That made things interesting. I remember one time, after one of our many shootings, you know, I support a little gun control, you know, and she said, well, technically, guns don't kill people, people kill people. Which, like, I get, you know, like, I understand that logic. But I feel like you're kind of, like, leaving out a pretty important middleman, you know? Like, we broke up, a couple months later, she calls me on the phone pissed. She's like, you gave me chlamydia! I was like, whoa, I did not give you chlamydia. Technically, your sister gave you chlamydia. You don't know who to root for in that joke. Yeah. Like, yeah, she cheated with his sister, but like also Republican, so it's ambiguous. You guys are a treat. Thank you so much for having me. It's weird now that I'm single because I'm realizing I wish I would have learned more things in sex ed, you know? Because they don't teach you the really important stuff. Like I was 19 as a male before I figured out I should be trimming my nails before sex. Oh. Yeah, that's the same noise that she made. Yeah. You don't find that out until it's way too late, you know? You're like, oh, does that feel good? She's like, it feels like I'm rounding second base with Wolverine. Absolutely not. Sex ed didn't teach me about kinks, you know? And that's tough, like, I'm naturally very vanilla. Like, if you've seen 50 Shades of Grey, I'm more like 50 Shades of Beige. Like, ooh, you want to be dominated? You got words with friends? Like, let's do this. No one taught me how to dirty talk. You know, I actually don't think anybody knows how to dirty talk. I think what we do is we just kind of like adopt a catchphrase and we just say it on repeat. You know, like there's some popular ones like, "Oh, you like that?" or "Does that feel good?" or you know, my personal favorite, "I'm sorry." Yeah. Here's a weird one. Dirty talking. Girls are calling guys daddy now, which I don't care for. If I were to be called daddy, I wouldn't be wearing the condom. You know. I had a girl do it to me recently. Caught me really off guard. She's like, "I want you to be my daddy." I was like, you want me to forget you at soccer practice and divorce my mom? Like, I think we had different dads. I don't like that double standard, you know? Like, if a girl calls a guy daddy, it's like sexy and kinky, but if I call a girl mommy, I'm weird and need to go back to therapy. I didn't get along with my dad growing up. Sometimes I would try to talk to him, and he'd stop and be like, "Oh, like, don't talk to me until I've had my coffee." Yeah. He didn't drink coffee. All right, you guys have been a fucking treat. Thank you guys so much for having me. You're never getting these kind of respect. Goodbye.
I don't want to get too political, but I don't like that my mom knows who Stormy Daniels is now. I was hoping to keep those two worlds separate, but that's an official crossover. It's canon. It's like, you know, the thing that pisses me off the most about that scandal, it's not that the president cheated on his wife, it's that Donald Trump is so rich that he was just watching porn one night and was like, "I'll take her. Bring her to me." Like, I don't know about you guys, but for me, porn was always a show, not a menu. Is this a porn crowd? You guys like porn? Is that... There's one woo. That guy likes porn in the back. I'll talk to him. I like, my favorite part of porn is the first act, when they're trying to contextualize all the gratuitous fucking, you know? And it's like... Sometimes it takes so long. It's like 20 minutes. And they're trying to sometimes make you think that the porn's not gonna happen. Like, they argue about it, the girl's like, "But you're my stepbrother." Like, we're thinking he's gonna go, "You're right, that's kind of fucked up. I have to think about the long-term effects of my actions." Like, am I supposed to watch this and go, "I don't know if the porn's gonna happen in this one, guys"? It would only work if like half of porn didn't have sex in it. We're just taking a gamble every time. Like, you know, they might have sex, but maybe Redhead MILF Who Takes 12-inch Cock is just like a metaphorical title. It's like a Reservoir Dogs, but porn. I want to be more politically active. I went to one of the women's marches because my girlfriend was like, "I'm not going unless you go with me to the March for My Independence." And I was hesitant to go, not because I hate women or anything, it's just like I feel like the day Trump gets me to exercise that he wins, you know? Anyway, it's too bad. I feel like I wish Asians were more marginalized in society. Then I could have like a dog in the fight, no pun intended. You know, because like that's something I could get in on. But the thing is, like, racist to a racist, I'm just a disappointment. Like, I can't tutor your kid or fucking teach you piano. I don't know, martial arts. And it's like, and that's the hardest time we have in society. It's like, I don't want to be at that march. I don't want to be next to like somebody of another race, somebody holding up a sign that says like, "Stop shooting us," and I'm holding up a sign like, "Stop expecting so much of us." I don't know. It's too bad. We could make good signs. We Asians are crafty. Just ask your tennis shoes. You guys got families? I don't know. Let's get relatable. Yeah, got a big family crowd. I got a family. I got a little brother. He's 13. I worry about him sometimes because he's kind of impressionable. Like, he just got a pink backpack from my mom, and he was all upset. He was like, "Oh man, like I'm afraid they're gonna people are gonna think I'm gay." And I was like, "What kind of toxic masculinity bullshit is this?" And then I kicked his ass. And he's like, he just believes all these childish things. Like, he's 13 and he still thinks like babies come from storks. And I know he's gonna grow up to be this maniac who's like trying to have kids. And he's like, "I can't have kids no matter how many times I fuck this stork." I have a dad. You guys got dads? Some dad crowd? I got a dad. I try to, you know, I like spending time with him, it's fine. Ever since I grew up, like, though, I just did not like being honest with him. Like, I'd kick him out of the doctor's office when they asked me if I was sexually active, because I don't want him to laugh at me when I said no. It's fine. It's hard to maintain a sex life in high school, besides, like, trying to get laid. It's like, because there's this whole process, it's like a covert mission. You're like, "All right, my parents are going to be out of the house from exactly 3 to 5. We have this 2-hour window. Come in the back. You can leave in the back in case they come home." And it's this whole thing. It doesn't matter if one of you's on your period, or just like, put a fucking towel down. I can't. I'll tell my mom I had a bloody nose. It's like, my parents don't just go to Home Depot together every fucking Saturday. That's usually the window. One time when I was in high school, my mom found a half of a condom wrapper. And she came up to me and she confronted me about it. She was like, next time you jerk off, you better hide the evidence. I was like, okay, first of all, that is not what that was for. Second of all, I don't know what that is. I've never seen before in my life. I don't know how relatable this is, but isn't it weird how often your mom wants to catch you jerking off when you're a child? Like I'd be like in the living room with a blanket up to here, and she'd be like, "Show me your hands," you know. If I'm in my room during the middle of the day, she comes in like, "What are you doing?" Like she really wanted to catch me masturbating. I don't know why, but I feel like maybe I should just let her. Like, like I'll make it special. Get some cabin socks, turn on some Kenny G. Like, the woman bent over backwards for me my entire life. It's the least I could do for her. How was that about family stuff? Speaking of sex, I think everybody remembers the song that was playing, if there was one. They remember the song that was playing the moment they lost their virginity. What was mine? Thank you for asking. Mine was "Don't Stop Me Now" by Queen, which is ironic because we stopped pretty quickly. We stopped before Freddie had any say in the matter.
So I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I work construction, and I help build the Grand Castle Apartments. You're welcome. Really boosted up that skyline, you guys. But while I was on that job site, I found out that they're building that exact same apartment complex to a T down in Florida. But I'm pretty sure the only reason why they're doing it is so that way poor people can trick their families into believing they live at Disney World. You guys remember that guy who fought a mountain lion a couple months ago? If you didn't hear about it, this dude was just walking in the woods and a mountain lion attacked him, and the dude beat the crap out of that mountain lion. Now initially, that sounds badass as hell, until you find out that that was a sick and crippled mountain lion that got beat up. Now I'm not saying he shouldn't have fought back. I mean, the thing was trying to kill him. All I'm saying is, cripples are pretty easy to beat up, you guys. It's not that newsworthy. Oh, but it's a mountain lion, it's still dangerous. Yeah, it's still dangerous, but there's a big difference between a guy jumping you who has a knife and a guy jumping you who has a knife who's in a wheelchair, you know? This is a lot more dangerous. Have you guys ever been so drunk that you wake up in the hospital, still drunk? That happened to me once. Then my sober friend came to pick me up, but I was too drunk to leave. The doctors wouldn't let me go. So my friend bet me $50 so I couldn't outrun the obese security guard in the lobby. Turns out there's a consolation prize when you lose that bet. You get strapped down to your hospital bed. Which I wasn't that into, but if you're into BDSM, keep that in mind for the next time you go to the hospital. Go in for a flu shot, get a little rowdy, Get your money's worth. Actually, I have a friend who's a nurse, and she told me recently that if you're an alcoholic and you go to the hospital for an unrelated reason, they have to serve you alcohol with all your meals, because they don't want you going into withdrawals.
That's true.
It is, yeah, I know. She's a real nurse. But that begs the question, what kind of alcohol are they serving these people? Because if I have to choose between 5 o'clock vodka with my shitty hospital hamburger or going into withdrawals, I choose withdrawals, you guys. All I'm saying is, if I'm paying $800 a night for the room, I feel like the hospital can shell out for Crown Royal, I think they can afford it. I like alcohol, but honestly, it's never been my main thing. My main thing has always been weed. And that's because, whenever I get so high on weed that I black out, I never wake up the next morning like, oh man, what did I do last night? What did I say to those people? Oh no. Because even though I blacked out, I still know exactly what I did. I was watching The Office. Because Netflix is asking me if I want to keep watching The Office. And I know I didn't say anything to those people because when you're that high, you can't talk, okay? Unless they're also that high, they can catch your telepathy, you know, you're fucked. It's just a lower maintenance drug, man. Weed is just lower maintenance than alcohol, and that's what I'm all about, man. Low maintenance. I don't need to add problems to my life, I already got them. One of the problems I have, I sleepwalk. And that may not sound like that big of a deal to you guys, but I do this weird thing when I sleepwalk where I think places are the bathroom that aren't the bathroom. Like on my futon, inside of a speaker cabinet, on my friend's kitchen floor. The worst part about peeing on my friend's kitchen floor was he immediately woke me up and made me clean it. Which in retrospect, totally fine, you know? You pee on your friend's floor, you should clean it up. That was pretty rude. But from my perspective at that time, I was dead asleep and someone just woke me up to clean piss. Like, I was real sure that my friend was pulling a weird ass prank on me. Sadly, that's not the worst thing that's ever happened to me while sleepwalking. I don't know if you guys have ever woken up driving a car, but that's pretty terrifying. Kind of just panicked, locked up, and drove right into a tree. Thankfully, I was totally fine. I got out of the car to inspect the damages and noticed there was like a light trickle of water coming out from underneath, and I was like, oh man, I must have messed up this guy's sprinkler system whose yard I crashed in. So I bent over to check out what was going on. Turns out I uprooted an entire fire hydrant. I guess that whole geyser thing when you hit them, that's a myth. But the weirdest part is, they never replaced that fire hydrant. It's like the city found out that my insurance wasn't going to pay for it, and they were like, fuck it, let those guys burn. Alright, I got one more for you guys, and I'm out of here. I wonder if I always wonder if I'm staying up on the times, if I'm progressive enough for, this modern age. And then a couple of weeks ago, my girlfriend told me she was going to her friend's gender reveal party. And for a split second, I thought, wow, dude, her friend is pregnant and still willing to tell people that they feel like a man on the inside? That's fucking brave, man. Thank you, I'm Colton Peppers, and I'm progressive as hell!
Because even though I think they're really uncomfortable, I wear a G-string once a month to prevent tartar buildup. You gotta stay healthy. Stay healthy. I'm gonna juice cleanse, a fermented grape juice cleanse. I'm drunk. That's what I'm saying. If you're in front of me in line at the grocery store in the express lane and you have more than 10 items, I'm just gonna start eating your food. Like, don't test me on this. It's not cool. Last time I was at the grocery store, the guy who was bagging out my food, he's like, oh, do you need help carrying these out? And I was like, yeah, that'd be great. So we started walking, and he's like, where's your car? I'm like, dude, I don't have a car. But it's only like 2 more blocks. I feel like you should just commit at this point. Help me out, come, bring the groceries up, we'll make a salad, talk about our relationship. Let's just see where it goes. That is how I met my last boyfriend, but you know what? He's the one that got away. That's why now I have bars on my windows. I'm not losing another one. Okay? I was cleaning my apartment, and on the window ledge, I saw this fly trapped in a spider web, and he was like struggling to get free, and the spider is like creeping towards him, and I kind of wanted to help the fly out and like set him free, because being eaten alive, what a horrible way to die. But then the spider might starve to death, also a horrible way to die. So I did the only ethical thing, suck them both up with my vacuum cleaner. Let him sort it out down in the bag. I don't need to be a part of this National Geographic special going on. But I do you know what? When a fly lands on me, I don't shoo it off right away because I like how it feels when they crawl on my skin. Do you think that's a mild form of bestiality? Because there's this coffee shop at my house that has really good flies. And like sometimes I see a video of an impoverished child like covered in flies and I'm so jealous. I wish they were on me. But I guess you guys aren't like really into flies the way I am. That's weird for you. Tipping is a fucked up way to pay people, right? It's sort of like, how much do I owe you? Well, how much do you think you owe me? Well, I was gonna pay what's on the bill here. Oh, you're just gonna give me exactly what I asked for? No, that's fine. That's fine. Cunt. And like, it's not always clear who you tip, right? Like my Coke dealer, you know? I'm just giving him exactly what he asked for. I'm not kicking in an extra 20 just because he's my dad. I'm gonna need a little bit more than that. Like, your service is not that awesome. I was buying drugs off this guy, not my dad, and he didn't trust me. He thought I was a cop or something, and he was like, you know what, I'm gonna need you to sign something. And he pulls out this tattered piece of paper that says, Sarah is not a police. I'm like, dude, I'll sign that, but like, I don't think that's gonna stand up in court. There might be more than one Sarah. Like, first of all, the first of your problems. Do you guys ever sit down on a plane and right away you smell really strong BO and you know that it's you? Shit. I did it again. I gotta start showering more. You know, and I never used to pay attention to the safety video on the airplane because it's so redundant. They keep saying tighten your buckle, put in your buckle, but once in a while to make sure you're paying attention, they will say butthole. And ever since I realized that, I really pay attention. Because I don't know what airline you fly, but if you fly United, you get 10,000 frequent flyer miles for every butthole you catch. So you're going to want to keep your ears out on those United flights. I was walking down the street and I smelled such a strong scent of marijuana that I thought my backpack was on fire. Don't worry, it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
I go back and forth to Duluth, Minnesota a lot. We do some comedy shows out there. It's really awesome. Way better than Muskegon because I'm from Muskegon. And I know Muskegon has a nice ring to it, but it's like a drug ring, and it's not a good place to be, I guess. But we just went in the beginning of February. Me and the girlfriend were like, we'll take a trip up there. We'll do a show. Because I'm a fucking idiot. Because who goes to Duluth, Minnesota in February, you guys? Like, that was such a... We lost 50 degrees in 1 mile, and I'm not exaggerating. It went 39, 19, negative 11. I was like, fuck! We were there for like 3 hours, and my blood type changed. It's burr negative now. I'm sorry. That's a corny joke. I'm holding on to it like I am my virginity. I don't want to let it go. No. But we were on the way there. We're driving through, and I've seen a lot of like deer crossing signs and stuff in my time. Now, never once have I seen one with an ATV on it. I was like, shit, there's wild quads in Wisconsin. That's awesome. So I'm like out in the fields with a bag of carrots looking for a while. Finally come up on one of them fuckers, you guys. It was bright red. I jumped up on it. It bucked me up, burned my dick on the way down. Not doing that again. 3rd time's enough. That's... Oh, you guys. You're making me feel better. I had a really bad day. Like, all day I was just, like, agitated, and I found out my sock was, like, a little bit crooked. I fixed it. The whole fucking day was better. I was like, I guess I can stop hitting you now. Anything? That's good. No, I'm just kidding. So I do have a girlfriend. She is here tonight. Give her a round of applause, please. Because anybody who's going to look at me naked deserves at least that. Okay? So I've seen me naked. It's terrible. It's like a raw chicken that got thrown into a dog bed. It's disgusting. She's not much better herself, though. I love her to death, but that girl farts like a buffalo. She woke me up one night, you guys. I heard a loud noise. I'm like, who's there? Bitch! And she was like, That's all right. The next night I woke myself up from the smell, so I was like, damn it, that's gross. That's worse. That's worse. You ever woke yourself up from a fart? Fartle yourself? Oh, yeah. Good times. All right, let's talk about, I love movies. You guys love movies. How many of you guys watch movies? Anybody seen those Mission Impossible movies? How fucking stupid is that series of movies, you guys? They're on number 7 right now, and not one of them have been impossible. I wanted to change the name to like Mission Probable, or let me start rating these things. Number 7, slamming a revolving door. Number 9, finding the 10mm socket. Am I right, fellas? Number 10, getting a woman to calm down by telling her to calm down. Good luck with that, Tom Cruise. Yeah. I would pay $22 for that one. I would go to the theater for that. That's how much it costs to go to a movie nowadays, right? I'm a terrible boyfriend. The last date we went on was I brought our kids to their dad's house. I did recently become a dad. You guys 3 and 5 years old. Now it sounds weird, they're twins. It's a really cool experience, though. I do gotta say, taking on, you know, like, I was always like using that as a pickup line, like, I'll play catch with your kids, yeah. But now I realize that you can claim them on taxes too, you guys. I usually get like $200 back. We got $4,800 this year. I was like, we need to get more girlfriends. Make sure they got 3 each. The oldest one, 5 years old, she is autistic, so I'm gonna pick on her a little bit, but we're gonna laugh with her, not at her. Remember that, please. Love her to death. She is amazing, but she lives in her own fucking world. She does what you want to do, but won't. It's great. It is amazing. The only problem I have with her is she says yes to everything. That is the biggest problem. Like, here's the example. I walk out in the living room and there's a pile of shit on the couch. We're off to a good start. The 3-year-old has shit all over the back of her leg. I'm like, who shit on the couch? She's like, Sissy. That poor girl's gonna say yes. She does every single time. So we're like, did you poop on the couch? And she's like, yes. I was like, how do I handle this one, right? So I'm like, all right. Did you kill Abraham Lincoln? Yes. Did you rob the Federal Reserve? Yes. Is Nickelback the greatest band alive? Yes. You fucking liar! Never hit a kid, but I'll start. As long as she don't get into Creed, it'll be okay though. Alright. I'm gonna go back to Minnesota. I love that place. When I first moved out there, I moved in with a quadriplegic, and I don't know if you guys know what that is, but the hospital there in Duluth had no idea. Brought him in by ambulance. They said he's got no movement from the shoulders down. That lady couldn't even say quadriplegic. She's like, we're like, quadriplegic? She's like, that one. Same lady didn't even leave the room, you guys. Turns around and goes, all right, honey, I need you to lift your arm. We're going to take your blood pressure. Quadriplegic. Oh yeah, that's right. A few minutes later, the doctor comes in. We think we're saved. We're not. This lady has degrees from everywhere. She's like, all right, we're going to do an ultrasound IV. Just need you to stay still for a second. You're going to feel a little poke. Son of a bitch. I know there's drugs in here, but those are not for you, lady. Those are for the patients and their guests. All right, I guess that's my time, guys. My name is Scott Zane. Thanks for coming on Super Life Comedy. Give it up for Brian B again.